Morning students, hope you are all doing good. In today's class, let us learn about the concept transfer of heat. Verse for the day. As long as the earth endures, seedtime and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night will never cease. Genesis 8:22. Yes, as long as the earth endures, if we have a time for seed, we will have a season of harvest. And if we have cold, we will have heat. And if we have a season for summer, we have a season for winter. And if we have day, we have night. So this will never end. That is what the verse says. So what do you see in this picture? We see a cup of coffee. If you have a cup of coffee for 10 minutes in your hand without drinking, what will happen? It will become cold. And if you buy your favorite ice cream and without eating, if we have it for 10 minutes in our hand, it starts melting. So why it happens? Yes, heat does not stay at one place. It moves from one place to another place. Hot things get colder and cold things get hotter. So this is the concept of transfer of heat. As you can see, heat is the flow of energy from a higher temperature location to a lower temperature location. As you see in this image, the hotness of the coffee travels to the surroundings, and here the hotness of the surrounding moves to the cup of juice and makes the juice warmer. So heat is a flow of energy from a high temperature location to a low temperature location. So this is the basics for transfer of heat. Let us see the types. Heat transfer takes place in three ways. The first way is through conduction. The second way through convection. And the third way through radiation. First, let us see about conduction. In conduction, let us take a solid. So in solid, the molecules are arranged tightly and closely so that it can't move freely. As you see in this image, consider this as a iron rod. So if you eat the one end of the iron rod, the first molecule gets heated and it starts vibrating, and then it moves to the neighboring molecule, and till the end of the molecule everything gets heated, and this is called conduction. Let us see the definition for conduction. The process of transfer of heat in solids from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature without the actual movement of molecules is called conduction. So here they have mentioned the heat in solids. Even liquids and gases conduction, but in slower process. So even from this image, you can see that the heat in solids move from the region of higher temperature. First, the first part gets higher temperature and it moves to the region of the lower temperature, and it makes sure that all the particles are heated up. So this process is called conduction. Let us see the real life examples for conduction. As you can see the image, the hot pan is on the fire for longer time. With the steel handle, can we go and touch the handle? No, we need a cloth or something else. The heat transfers from the pan to the handle. So this is the best example for conduction. Metals are good conductors of heat. So aluminum is used for making utensils to cook food quickly, and that is why we have metals like aluminum for cooking, to cook the food quickly. The second real life example is mercury. Mercury is used in the thermometers, as we all know, because it is a good conductor of heat. That is why if we have high temperature, when we go to the doctor places the thermometer under the tongue or the armpits to check the temperature, because mercury is a good conductor of heat. The third example is sweater. Why do we wear sweaters? Yes, during winter season we wear sweaters. We wear woolen clothes in winter to keep ourselves warm. Air, which is a bad conductor, does not allow our body heat to escape. So that it does not allow the heat in our body to escape, so that we feel warm when we wear woolen clothes. In transfer of heat, we saw the first type, conduction. Next, we will see about the convection. In conduction, we saw that the one molecule transfers heat to the neighboring molecule. But in the case of convection, we can see that the molecules does not stay at one position. It moves around the position. So, let us see the definition for convection. Convection is the flow of heat through a fluid from places of higher temperature to the places of lower temperature by movements of the fluid itself. As you can see in this picture, the cup of coffee, the molecules has a complete rotation of the particles. Let us see the real life examples for convection now. So you would have all seen the hot air balloons in television, or some may have seen straight. So do you all know how the balloon rises in the air? It is because inside the balloon we have air molecules. So when we heat the air molecules, the balloon automatically rises up. So this is one example for convection. Air molecules at the bottom of the balloon gets heated by a heat source and rise. Let us see the second example for convection. There are two types, one is sea breeze and the second one is land breeze. When the warm air and the cold sea breeze get replaced, it is called sea breeze. And during night, the warmer air on the surface of the sea travels to the land side, and the land has cool breeze which is replaced to the sea, and this is called land breeze. So let us see the third example for convection is winds. When we feel so hot, we like the wind. Air flows from area of high pressure to area of low pressure. Let's see how the wind comes. Generally, we will have warm air on the surface which creates low pressure. So when the wind with high pressure comes towards the low pressure, we will get the wind flow. And the fourth example is chimneys. As you can see, the air or smoke gets to the atmosphere. Chimneys are used in the kitchens or industrial purposes. So we saw about conduction, convection, and third we will see about the radiation. Previously we saw about conduction and convection, which needed some particle to transfer heat. But in the case of radiation, you can see the sun, which is a hot object which transfers heat through a waves. So this is called radiation. Radiation is the flow of heat from one place to another by the means of electromagnetic waves. So the sun emits the radiation to the earth. Let us see the real life examples for radiation. We will all have white dresses in our house, and let us see what's the connection between the white dress and the radiation. They are good reflectors of heat. So white dress does not absorb heat, but it reflects heat and makes us cool during the summer time. So let us all wear white dresses during summertime. The second example is most of our cooking utensils will be black in color because it absorbs heat and makes our food to cook faster. And the last example we have is aeroplane. You all seen that the aeroplane has highly polished surface on the surface. That is because it reflects most of the heat and does not absorb. It reflects the rays of the sun. It reflects back the rays of the sun. Came to the conclusion of the topic. We saw about the transfer of heat and the types like conduction, convection and radiation. Hope you all understood the concept. Thank you students. See you all in the next class. Bye. Good morning students. Let me explain the transfer of heat in this classroom. So, what are the different ways in transfer of heat? Miss, conduction, convection and radiation. Good Daniel, let's start. I'm giving my book to the last bench and I need it now. What are the ways of giving it to me? Last bench can pass the book to the second bench and the second to the first, and I can get the book this way. This is called conduction. Your neighbor particles are active here. What can be the other way? The last bench student itself can come and give it to me. This is convection, when the particle itself is in motion. And then the third way is throwing the book to me. This is radiation, the throw of radiation from a hot object. This is all about the three ways of transfer of heat. I hope you all understood. Thank you, students.